All right, testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. I want to thank everybody for coming out to the Springboro Tea Party's reaffirmation of the Bill of Rights rally. This has been in planning for a little while, and we've been putting a lot of time and effort into it, and every last penny we could to try to get this bad boy to happen. So if anybody has good favor with the man upstairs, say a little prayer, and hopefully we have clear skies throughout the whole event. So this is what we're going to cover real quick. My first speaker is going to be Steve Fryburg. He's going to be speaking about the use of drones internationally as well as, which most egregiously, domestically. And this is a very serious issue. A couple of major municipalities such as St. Louis and Missouri is seriously considering using drones to help go monitor the activity of its citizens there in that city. So this is something very concerning because we've seen the way drones have been used overseas in Afghanistan and Iraq and how they have killed thousands of people, especially children, that have no cause to be involved in any type of conflict. And Steve Fryburg is going to be our first speaker to discuss this and explain not only the sincerity or severity of it, but also what we can do as citizens to say, we will not comply. So that's going to be our first speaker today, and then I'll go over some other topics that we're going to cover and some other announcements as well. So I want to welcome up Steve Fryburg. I had the advantage of meeting this gentleman about a month or so ago downtown Dayton. We were protesting in front of Mike Turner's office on the use of drones, and of course Mike Turner's nowhere to be found. So, but nevertheless, I captured some video on that. You could go to sonnythomas.com, click on the YouTube page, and there's a little video compilation where I captured a very interesting conversation with Mr. Fryburg and another uninformed gentleman, and Mr. Fryburg was able to properly educate the man in exactly what was going on. So, Mr. Fryburg, I want to say first thanks for Steve Fryburg coming up, driving all the way from the Dayton area, and he's going to tell you about this particular issue, and I guarantee you will have more knowledge about this issue and what we could do to do something about it. Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Good afternoon, folks. A little background on myself. I'm with the No Drones Network Ohio and the International No Drones Network with Veterans for Peace. I'm a retired police officer, so I have a really great concern about the national use of drones as far as the surveillance of Americans, because I think it's going to interfere with our rights. But the American public's being sold drones two ways. They're saying that drones are making us safer, our troops safer in Afghanistan and Pakistan, and that's false. It's blatantly false. There's two reports. If you go to the No Drones Network, you can find them, but since our use of drones, if you follow the rise of drone usage since we started using drones back in 2004, as we continued to use drones and increase the use of drones in the Obama administration, there's been a direct correlation of increases of attacks against American troops and against NATO troops in Afghanistan. So when they say that we're making our troops safer, you know, in a particular instance where they may be using a drone to stop an attack against troops, that's fine. I can see that, and then for scouting missions, that's fine. But the use of drones where they're using them for targeted missions, assassinations in Yemen and in Pakistan, in a country that we're not at war with. I've been to Pakistan twice. I work with non-governmental NGOs in that country, and I can tell you right now, drones are a recruiting tool for Al-Qaeda and the Taliban. And all we're doing is we're continuing the war on terrorism by using drones in both of those countries, in Somalia, in Yemen, in the African countries, and it is not helping us end the war on terrorism. It's only going to continue it. As far as domestically, now I have over here, I've left some flyers. You're more than welcome to it with the current edition of the War Crimes Times that is put out by the Veterans for Peace. Help yourself to that also. But here in the United States, the Air Force is working on drones that can stay up in the air indefinitely. These drones will be using solar energy. They'll be able to stay up and collect information on all of us for as long as they want. And it's just like, I'm sure all of you have heard the current NSA sweeps on our phone and internet records. Now that doesn't mean that they're collecting information and they're saying, oh, you know, I'm listening to your phone information or your email information. But they're collecting it, and it's going into a big computer somewhere. And I don't know about you, but I have a real problem with having some eye in the sky that is constantly looking over what I'm doing. And, you know, Ben Franklin said it real well when he said that, you know, people who are willing to give up their freedom and for a little bit of security deserve neither. And that's where we've become in our country. They're selling fear all the time in this country on news channels and in our government. Our leaders are doing this. You know, be afraid. Be constantly afraid so that they can put things like this up in the air and watch over us all the time. And, you know, the thing is that they're also looking at arming these things in the United States. You know, there's legitimate good uses for drone technology. I'm not saying that all drone technology is bad, but what they're doing is that they're letting corporations decide how they're going to be used. And now there are some cities in the United States that have had enough intelligence to either outlaw them or put in good laws beforehand to make sure that the drones are not going to be used improperly. And this is what we need to be doing in Ohio, but our leaders aren't doing that. They're not doing it in the Miami Valley, and they're not doing it in the state of Ohio. In fact, they're doing the opposite. They're handing over checks to the drone corporations and saying, come on to Ohio. You've got a free ride here. We're even going to give you some money to settle down and create all those jobs. That's the other thing. They keep saying, oh, it's going to create lots and lots of jobs for Ohioans. You know, and it's going to replace those 30,000 jobs that we lost when GM moved out of Ohio, you know, or out of the Dayton area. Don't believe that either. Those jobs that are coming with the drone manufacturers, highly technical jobs, and they're in the hundreds, not the thousands. So, you know, we're being sold a bill of goods when it comes to drone technology, and we're losing on both ends. We're not going to get the money in the pockets that they're saying that we're going to get, and we're also becoming one of the most hated countries in the world because of the foreign policy that we're using with drone technology. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Steve. That's a really important issue that he brought up, because especially since someone such as Congressman Mike Turner, that's basically his argument. When someone like Navistar up near Springfield loses thousands of jobs and it goes overseas due to our corporate tax policy, and then their excuse for bringing in jobs is for drone manufacturing, about 150 to 200 jobs, and then basically, how do you have the morality to understand that you're building something that's not only monitoring, spying, but will eventually kill people? This is something right out of the Terminator. Remember those HK 100 killers that are flying around? That's exactly what these are. So it's going to get worse before it gets better.
Give me shelter, don't leave me behind. It's your last life, don't leave me behind. to the edge. I've been out all night and it's gone right to my head. 100 miles an hour and not slowing down. I got the pedal pressed to the floor. I've had me enough, but I still want some more. Come on, give me some more. I've got no time for love tonight, because there's someplace else I'd rather be. A higher place in my so-called society. There's red lights in my rearview mirror and another bridge is burned. There's no turning back, I've reached the point of no return. I've reached the point of no return. I want it all and I want it now. I want my cake and eat it too. I'd like to burn the candle at both ends, it's true. When will it stop? Well, nobody knows. I'm trying to go as fast as I can. There's no end in sight and I wanna do it all again. Come on, let's do it again. Stuck here in no man's land, headed out to parts unknown. I've been under the radar, but now my cover's blown. Looks like my luck's running out this time, and another lesson's learned. There's no turning back, I've reached the point of no return. The man is moving up on me fast. Looks like it's the end of the road. I'm not gonna make it home, I got no place to go. There's red lights in my rearview mirror and another bridge is burned. There's no turning back, I've reached the point